What does it look like to sell on Amazon KDP for 2 months in a row? Is there any new traction, or is it a flat, oversaturated market for new sellers that doesn't have as much potential as we hoped? In this video, I am going to give you another peek behind the curtains with my December 2022 income report, which is my second full month on Amazon KDP selling no and low content books. But first, hit that subscribe button to make sure that you catch all of my future income reports and all of the tips and tricks I share along the way. I'm Rebecca Boland, and this is my Amazon KDP journey that I am making transparent and sharing with you so that anybody else who is interested or curious about making money online and has heard about this path can see what it looks like as a brand new seller in 2022 and essentially 2023 as the first full year seller. In my first video from back in November, I talked about how long it took me to get my first organic sale after launching my first book, how many books I published in the first month, and ultimately revealed that by the end of the month, I had made just under $5 in royalties through 2 books published. So while that doesn't seem like that exciting of a win, it felt huge for me knowing that this path did have opportunity to still break in and add to my list of diversified income streams. By the end of November, I had 44 books published, and in December, I did continue to publish more books along the way. I'll show you just how many in just a few minutes. But first, let's see what December looked like. So throughout December, I can excitedly say that my sales of units sold did grow from 2 in November to 10 in December. Again, this number is not suddenly going to pay my mortgage or even my electric bill, but it's always exciting to see any sales at all, but especially when there's growth like that from one month to the next. Now, of course, December is a big holiday season, and sellers of most products expect to see a stronger fourth quarter and especially a stronger November, December, almost regardless of what they sell. But that said, it still means that the books I was publishing were being seen by customers and that they liked what they saw enough to press buy now and purchase my books over all of the competition out there. In December, I still was not creating ads. I still had not told any friends or family, and I had not even made a single social media post to encourage anybody that knew me or followed me anywhere else to try and sway this. I truly just buckled down, created books, published them, and waited to see what happened. So the 10 units ordered were not actually out of 112 books. As you might recall, I spoke in my first income report video about how this number is listing my total number of books at the time I took this screenshot. And because this screenshot was actually taken in January as a look back, in January I had published a total of 112 books. In December, I had actually published 99 books. So 10 of those various 99 books had sold throughout the month of December. In December, my second month of publishing, I was also excited to say that I hit my first day of multiple book sales by selling a whole whopping 2 on a single day instead of just 1 at a time. So you can see that I sold a book on December 2nd, here on the 7th, and then on the 11th, I hit a 2 unit a day metric. But any small win is still a win, and when you're in this game with all of the failures and hurdles that you hit, you really have to learn to love and appreciate those small wins that show the potential in front of you. So in December, with having 99 books now published, now live on Amazon, I had 44 at the end of November, meaning that throughout December I had buckled down and published 55 more books. I know that sounds like a lot, especially for 1 month, but I was lucky to be in the position of being a stay-at-home mom, pregnant with our second child, so I did have a lot of time to be off of my feet and in front of the computer. You don't necessarily have to publish that many books that quickly, and you do have to make sure that you're still maintaining a level of quality that's more important than quantity. But of course, The more books you create, and especially in different niches, the more you can kind of get a feel for what sells and for what you love to create. And so that was my continued goal in December, was to figure out what I loved making and to kind of dabble in a few different niches I had started to uncover through my research. Now, because so many of those books were published in the first few weeks of the month, it doesn't mean that they were actually live or being seen before the Hanukkah and Christmas seasons. So I wasn't necessarily getting all of the sales that I would have hoped to have on any seasonal content had it been published earlier to really take advantage of that holiday shopping customer. So I kept track, and in December, out of those books I had published, 19 or 20 of them were Christmas specific. So I'd say about 20% of my content was seasonal when we look at December. Now, are you curious to see what 10 units looked like in terms of royalties? In terms of the money that went into my pocket, those 10 books converted to about $21.12 in royalties. And again, when we say royalties, that is not a net revenue number. That's a number that means Amazon has already accounted for the cost of printing books. They've already taken their portion of royalties out of that figure, and that's the number that they expect to go into my pocket at the end of the month. So this was really exciting. $21 may not be a life-changing figure. You're not going to quit your job to make this kind of money per month. But this is in only my second month of selling on Amazon KDP, and it's including trial and error situations in terms of new niches, in terms of book design, in terms of figuring out new margins and trying out bleed versus non-bleed books, black and white versus full color prints, and doing a lot of learning along the way. One thing that is interesting and kind of goes to what I mentioned a minute ago in terms of publishing 20% seasonal content for Christmas, while I did have that volume published in December, because a lot of it was so brand new, it probably wasn't even being seen much in terms of searches and views. I didn't have that many eyes on it, and out of those 10 books sold, only one of them was actually a Christmas book. So while we say that a lot of shoppers are looking at the Christmas holiday and looking to gift give, only one of my 19 or 20 Christmas-specific books was actually part of my sales. The other 9 were books that, again, probably do make good gifts, but only one of those books was Christmas specific, which means the other 9 that I created can be given year round, and I won't have to rely on making seasonal specific content for each and every upcoming season in order to make sales. So at this point, I had 99 books published and 10 units ordered. If only one of them was Christmas specific content, what were the others? Let's look at my December orders on breakdown of books. Each of these colors on the bar chart represents one of the books that was sold in the month of December. And so you can see there are red, yellow, light blue, purple, dark blue, green. We've got 6 different color bars, which means out of the 10 units ordered, 6 of them were unique books from one another. I sold one of the red, which does happen to be the Christmas book. So I do think it's interesting to note that the one seasonal Christmas book that was purchased was the earliest one purchased in December, which means that I did publish it in the month of November. So add that to your takeaways if you are interested in publishing seasonal content, and make sure you publish it early enough that shoppers can buy sometime like this, December 2nd. Then you'll see that I sold 2 of these yellow style books, one before Christmas and one after. So whether they were being purchased specifically for holiday gifts, I'm not sure. I've sold 1 purple book and 1 blue, and you'll see on the day that I sold 2 units for the first time, it was not because somebody purchased or 2 of my same book was purchased. It's because I happened to sell 1 of this purple book and my first one of this light blue, which then proceeded to sell 3 more times over the course of the next week. So you'll see that essentially 40% of my sales were in one style book. And I'm sure that's a factor of Amazon picking it up, seeing that a customer liked it, showing it some more to other customers, and it probably started to get a a little bit of traction. And again, I'm a small brand new seller. 4 books in a row is truly a small bit of traction, but I think that goes to show how there could be potential to build up, especially if you can take advantage of that early traffic. So that wraps up my December 2022 income report for Amazon KDP. Again, I hope I can continue to grow and be able to show you and share more detailed analysis behind the scenes as I gain more books and I start to understand more about what customers are buying and more about how independent sellers can stand out, especially amongst some of these huge conglomerate publishers. But for now, my takeaway with my second month income report is that I am still excited and hopeful about this platform. I do see it as a strong potential opportunity for passive income, especially once you get a lot of the right books in the right niches. And once you can take advantage of marketing and potentially advertising down the way. Another takeaway is that I do continue to publish books daily, but not just any books. I do make sure that they are quality. Even if there's minimal content, I make sure that content is unique and is targeted at my ideal customer so that it can stand out next to a product that's been on the shelves longer and potentially already has strong reviews. I know that I have a lot more great Amazon KDP content coming up for you soon, so please make sure you hit subscribe in the corner and feel free to drop me any comments or questions you have. I would love to hear about your Amazon KDP business, and I'm happy to answer any questions that I can if we have a shared experience along the way.